Hey all, Mobs here. Thought it was time to do a chat about something that obviously has been a huge part of most collectors in their lives, and certainly sports collectors and basketball collectors over the years, and that's NBA or basketball trading cards. Now, I am old. I first started collecting this stuff when I was sort of 9, 10 years old, early 90s, and then had a big break like a lot of the people that are just coming back into what they know as the hobby now. Things have changed. Things have really changed, and yes, obviously, I've been collecting and have been around basketball stuff throughout that time and continued to get bits and pieces. And yes, there were cards here and there, but even in the early 90s, I was never a huge collector of cards. And I'm starting to come around now because it's just another piece of exciting, um, something tangible, something you can hold, something you can have a community around, something you can talk to other people about, based around a passion of yours. And that's what I've always loved. And the other thing that I've kind of loved about cards over the last 6 to 8 months has been the collectability of it and the size of it, because like with a lot of my stuff, I've started to collect downwards, smaller sizes of things, because I just didn't have the space to collect the big things that I was getting over the years. So cards fit that really perfectly. So yeah, interesting hobby, and I'm very excited to be back into it. What I'm finding as someone who hasn't been around it for 30 odd years is that there's some real differences, and I still have that early 90s mentality with it all. I'm still super excited about a simple base card of one of my favorite players, whereas the people that are kind of ingrained in the collecting now, they kind of move those aside in most instances and don't really look at them. They're looking at the variations and some of the exciting and flashy signed cards, cards with players singlets within them, and all sorts of other cool things based around rookies. There's an explosion in the sport now, which is really exciting, around a couple of different people, namely Luka Doncic and Zion Williamson, as there was back when I first started collecting around Michael Jordan and the NBA hitting Australia for the first time, Shaq coming into the league, the Dream Team. That was that key time for me, and so I've really enjoyed it. A lot of the time I've been led by a few different people that I follow and connect with. Cherry Collectibles, based in Melbourne. I've been able to drop into their store a couple of times before it closed. Bought some of my first cards there again. The box of NBA, I guess it's almost like a starter pack to get you excited again. There was some base cards of Steve Nash and other throwback players that I really loved collecting, my favorite guys. And I've just really enjoyed learning about the community over time. One throwback I wanted to bring up was probably my biggest part of the hobby during that in-between time, was when I bought the entire 1995-96 NBA Panini sticker basketball collection. A whole bunch of packs, maybe 2006 or 7. Bought the entire, well, just a huge stack of packs, and held onto it for a few years. And then, as I do with all this stuff, as you've seen with the magazines, you've seen with the other displays, cracked them open and made this huge display of all the cards just stuck on a board, and I've had it up for years, and it's moved with 3 different houses with me. Still see it right here, and I'll probably have some shots of it over this video, but I've still got, as the true collector I am, I kept all the packets, so I've got the front and back of all the packets and all the numbering. The other thing that I found was all these old packets of cards, and there's nothing in them, but just throwback packs of empty cards, because there's some newer ones, obviously with Zion. Of course, I collected whatever I could keep. Tim Hardaway Jr., he came to Melbourne last year. I was lucky enough to get his autograph on another photo. So yeah, just some cool old things, and I just like being around this stuff, as you can tell. But yeah, cards have been something that's really exciting for me. Check out Cherry; they've got some great community around them across all their comms. Like, their content is fantastic. Shout out to Chris Silverpool, another longtime friend that got me a Dally signed card. Just so exciting. Collecting some of these Aussie players now. Steve Nash, like I talked about, players that I've really loved. Even looking back at Kobe's, I've even dove into the women's basketball, which is obviously something that's a passion of mine too. All those superstar WNBA Aussies, and even WMBL. So that's just a quick look and an insight. I'm trying to learn more. It's really hard because when you come from out of a hobby for that long a time, the rules have really changed, you know, and I see people having these massive collections of rookies that haven't not really on my radar in terms of their skills and you know the story behind them, but obviously there's a huge passion for it, and people are collecting these players hoping that they're going to turn into something amazing. I like sticking to the ones that I know because that's in my price range, as well as you know, just fits with the theme of the rest of the stuff that I've collected. But definitely lots of fun, and have a check it out. And I'm sure there's more pages out there, there's more people in the hobby than you know around you in this type of audience. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I look forward to talking about it more.